at charity.com/Seed UK. So join us to connect and be inspired every single hour to keep yourself engaged during our entire campaign. Without further ado, I'm going to hand over to the National Director of Seed, a man who needs no introduction, a man who 40 years ago had the vision of changing Anglo Jewry. 40 years ago, who set out and has literally impacted tens of thousands of people. So please, can I hand over to Rabbi Joey Grunfeld, who will launch our campaign officially and introduce our first speaker.
That I've been isolating myself for the last 8 weeks. And there was a point when I was very, very dejected. The news out there was just awful with the coronavirus. And I'll tell you something else. Seed did not look too healthy either. Seed has been my life for 40 years. And I was really looking forward to our 40th anniversary bash, our gala dinner, which was meant to take place tomorrow. Unfortunately, it had to be cancelled. And had we had that dinner, we would have had funding for the rest of the year. And I was really dejected. And for some reason, I suddenly looked out of my window and saw in front of my house on the pavement a tree. And the tree was as green as can be, full of green leaves. And I got the shock of my life. I was astonished because the last time I had noticed the tree, it was bleak, it was black, there were no buds out at all, there was nothing doing. And all of a sudden there were green shoots and leaves, and I had missed it all in my dejection. And so I thought to myself, God's world is still very beautiful, even though we have many challenges still before us. Hashem has created a world which grows, which transforms itself, which rejuvenates itself. There's renewal, there's hope. And so the same has happened with Seed, I must tell you. We have also responded to this crisis with renewal and transformation, and we have transformed our online presence to a completely different level. We are now really and truly online with a whole varied programs, whether it's links for the bas mitzvah girls, or whether it is parenting classes, parenting panels, or whether it's arts and craft for the children's, shiurim, Kabbalah Shabbos, before Shabbos, of course, and Havdalah ceremonies. We are there, out there. And I don't think we've ever been needed more before than now, because there are hundreds and hundreds of parents out there with their children stuck at home who need guidance, religious guidance, emotional guidance. And we have been there over the past few weeks, transformed and renewed and full of growth and hope. And I must tell you that this charity is also going to be very different. This is, of course, a fundraising effort. We have changed from a dinner to a charity, but this charity is different. It's going to be full of fun, full of entertainment, and above all, full of inspiration and education. Every hour, on the hour, you will have power on the hour, and I hope you will enjoy yourself thoroughly for the next 30 hours. And I can't imagine anybody more suitable to launch this charity than the Chief Rabbi of South Africa, Rabbi Warren Goldstein. Rabbi Goldstein himself is an architect of educational creativity. He is always brimming with ideas. It is he who began the Shabbat Project. It is he who began Generation Sinai, which we have adopted. We work together, and I'm sure there's a lot more around the corner. I can't imagine anybody more suitable than to launch this charity than Rabbi Warren Goldstein. So without further ado, I give you Rabbi Warren Goldstein, Chief Rabbi of South Africa.
Rabbi Grunfeld, thank you so much for such a warm and generous introduction. It's truly an honor to be here with you, to celebrate and to launch this campaign. Rabbi Grunfeld, I want to thank you publicly for your friendship and for your guidance and your partnership with so many things. I so appreciate it. Rabbi Grunfeld, you are an icon of Kiruv and education in the United Kingdom and indeed throughout the world. Your pioneering efforts in bringing Torah to so many Jews of Anglo Jewry is something which is an inspiration to us all. And it's for me, it is an honor to be part of this and to pay tribute to you for the 40 years of pioneering work that you have done for Anglo Jewry, making such an impact on so many people. I want to thank you and the entire Seed organization for your constant partnership, both with the Shabbat Project as well as Generation Sign and all of the other initiatives, which I'm so grateful to you for your unbelievable partnership. And I know that I speak on behalf of so many people when we say that the work that Seed does to spread Torah values and Torah knowledge, to spread Torah knowledge and Torah learning to so many people is something which is truly an inspiration. And so I want to encourage everybody to support Seed. As the Mishnah says, "Im ein kemach ein Torah." If there's no flower, there's no Torah. In order for Torah to flourish and to spread Torah, it's so important to have financial partners who can help. So I want to encourage everybody to support Seed as much as possible in this campaign and to help them in their holy work, because the work that Seed does goes to the heart of the future of the Jewish people. There is an amazing event which is described in the Talmud, one which captures the very essence of what Jewish history and Jewish destiny is about, and it captures the very essence of what Seed is about, because it was the moment when the great Roman Empire had conquered most of the known world and had conquered the land of Israel and had encircled the city of Jerusalem and had laid siege to the city. And the great Talmudic sage Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai had been smuggled out of the city, out of the siege, and began the negotiations with the Caesar of Rome, because the general that had been appointed to destroy Jerusalem and to capture Jerusalem on behalf of the Roman Empire had just been appointed the Caesar. And they had a special relationship, and he felt a debt of gratitude to the Talmudic sage Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, and he said to him, "I will grant you any request." And Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai at that moment had a split second to make a decision which would affect the whole future of the Jewish people. He could have asked the Caesar and the Roman general to spare the city of Jerusalem and to spare the temple. But the Gemara says that he was uncertain whether such a request would be granted, and he wasn't sure. And yet, in the end, what he chose to ask for was not for the temple and not for Jerusalem, but he said, "Tenli Yavne v'chachameha," give me Yavne and her sages. Give me the sages, the Torah sages and scholars who can teach Torah, so that the Jewish people can continue to thrive and survive. And at that moment, Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai had to make a critical decision on the spur of the moment. What would be the guarantee of the future of the Jewish people? And the conclusion that he came to, the only guarantee for the future vibrancy and vitality of the Jewish people is Torah learning. That when we learn Torah, we get connected to God. We get connected to our values. We understand who we are. We understand our mitzvahs. We understand our responsibilities. We understand why it is that to be a Jew is such a privilege, and why it is that it is so important to ensure that there is a Jewish future. Through Torah learning, we understand everything. And that's why our sages explain in one of the Midrashim, it says that God says, even if the people will leave me, Hashem says, even if they will leave Hashem, but learn his Torah, the light within it will bring them back to the good. That is what our sages have always known, that when there is Torah learning, then people will find their way to Jewish values and to Jewish practice and to mitzvahs and to Jewish life. there will always be that vibrancy. And that's why Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, when he could have asked the Roman Caesar for anything, he chose specifically to ask that Torah learning could continue. And that was the beginning of a long exile. That at that moment of the conquest of Jerusalem and the temple is beginning a 2,000-year exile for the Jewish people. How would we survive that? How would we get through that? The only way that we got through that was through the miracles of Hashem, but we got through that because we were connected to our Jewish values, to our Torah, and what connected us to our Torah and to our Jewish values was Torah learning. And it is the light within it that brings us back and reconnects us. That is the formula. And indeed, if you look throughout Jewish history, you will see it is communities which are connected to the learning of Torah, that are communities that are connected to Jewish life and to the vibrancy of it and the vitality of it. And it is that mission that Seed has dedicated itself to, and that Rabbi Grunfeld and his outstanding rabbis and Rebbitzins and the entire team of educators of Seed have dedicated themselves to teaching Torah to the Jewish people, to Anglo Jewry, to teaching parents and children, to teaching students, university students, to teaching all different kinds of people from across the walks of life, and everybody connected to that light of Torah learning, which is the light that connects them to who we are as a people and ensures the Jewish future. So if we are saying what it is that will guarantee the vibrant future of Anglo Jewry, there is only one answer to that question, and that is Torah learning. And if that is the answer, then the answer to that is the continued success of Seed in its holy work to teach Torah to as many Jews in the UK as possible, and to spread that message of the light of Torah to as many people as possible, because Torah brings light into our lives. As it says in the verse, Ki ner mitzvah Torah or, because the mitzvah commandments that we fulfill are like a lamp, but the Torah is like light. And the Talmud actually says that the learning of Torah is more powerful than any other mitzvah, because it says it compares this world to living in a dark forest. And it's full of dangers and uncertainties. And if there's ever a time that the world feels uncertain, it is now, during this time of terrible uncertainty in the world and the fear of disease and grief and bereavement that people are going through. And it's been such a difficult time for so many people in so many Jewish communities around the world. And we're all in that together. But in a time when there is uncertainty and confusion and darkness, we need light. And the Talmud says that when we do a mitzvah, that is like a lamp, it sheds light around us. But when we learn Torah, that is like the morning sun rising with signposts all over to guide us and give us direction in our lives. That is when we learn Torah. We connect to the way that God looks at the world. We see the world from his perspective. We see the values. We understand who we are. We understand why we are Jewish, what it means to be a Jew, why it is so important, what our values are, and how we can do that. And that is something which is so important and so vital and so special. And so it is so important that Seed continues its vital work for the Jewish people. So thank you, Rabbi Grunfeld, for the honor of beginning this campaign together with you. And I'd like to call upon all of the friends of Seed to come forward and to support and to be part of this, so that this holy work of teaching Torah can continue. And that is the path to the future, a path of light, of vitality, of hope, and of optimism. Please God, may this campaign be filled with great success. Rabbi Grunfeld, may Hashem continue to bless you and your remarkable group of talented rabbis and teachers and rebbitzins, that with continued success, and may Anglo Jewry go mechayil el chayil, from strength to strength, and may God bless us all and our entire world and every human being with the refuah shleima, with good health, with healing, with blessing, and with the ultimate blessing of all. And that, of course, is for the final redemption to come, and that the light of Hashem should be felt in the world, and that he should wipe away tears from all faces, and that we can truly celebrate that ultimate redemption for the world. God bless you. Thank you so much. And b'hatzlacha, with great success, please God.
Thank you so much, Rabbi Goldstein. I can't imagine a better and more articulate way of launching this project and this fundraising effort. You said it so beautifully, much better than I did. I think you should have come on first because you did it so magnificently. Thank you, and I wish you bracha v'atzlacha in all the work which you do, and may we partner many, many more projects with you together until the coming of Mashiach. B'meir v'yomeinu amen. Thank you so, so much.
Thank you so much. God bless.
I would just like to ask everybody now that we are beginning this campaign to do their very, very best and to contact all their friends and all their acquaintances and raise the necessary money that we need. We're trying to gain £600,000 over 30 hours. Mirz Hashem, we will reach that target early, and hopefully we'll be able to have a bonus. We're looking to reach much more if we can possibly do so. So everybody, please do their best to make as much as they possibly can and make this campaign the success which it deserves, as Rabbi Goldstein so eloquently said. Thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of the program. Good evening.